Would you believe that a tiny penny from 1945, one that most people wouldn't even glance at, could be worth $1.8 million today? Sounds insane, right? But it's true. One special 1945 no-mint mark wheat penny has stunned the numismatic world. In this video, we're diving deep into the story behind this iconic coin, its history, how to identify it, and why it could be worth a fortune today. So stick around, because you might have $1 million coin sitting in your change jar right now. The Lincoln wheat penny was first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. It was the first U.S. coin to feature a real person, and what better figure than Honest Abe himself? From 1909 to 1958, the reverse featured 2 wheat stalks, hence the name wheat penny. These coins were minted at Philadelphia, no mint mark, Denver, D, and San Francisco, S. Fast forward to 1945, World War II had just ended. America was rebuilding, and coins like the 1945 penny were part of everyday life, nothing special, yet. Here's the twist. The majority of 1945 pennies were made in Philadelphia, so they carry no mint mark. Over 1 billion of these were struck, making it one of the most common wheat pennies ever. So why would any 1945 penny be worth millions? Well, it comes down to errors, condition, and rarity. In early 2024, one specific 1945 no mint mark penny graded MS68 Plus Red, the highest known for this coin, was sold privately for a staggering $1.8 million. That's because it was in pristine, uncirculated condition. It had a flawless strike and full red luster, and it's the only one of its kind known at that grade. Coin values rise exponentially with condition. Grading is done on a scale from 1 to 70, with MS70 being perfect. Most 1945 wheat pennies you find will be circulated, usually grading between VF20 and EF40, worth just a few cents to a few dollars. Even some uncirculated ones in MS60, MS65 might fetch $5 to $100. But that MS68 Plus Red penny? It's a unicorn. Imagine finding a flawless car from 1945, untouched, brand new. That's what makes it a collector's dream. Here's what to look for if you think you have a 1945 wheat penny. No mint mark under the date means it's from Philadelphia. Check the color. Red is more valuable than brown or red-brown. Look for sharp detail, especially in Lincoln's hair and wheat lines. No scratches, stains, or wear. Pristine condition is key. Consider sending it to a grading service like PCGS or NGC if you suspect it might be high grade. And who knows, if it's flawless, you might just be holding a 6-figure coin, or more. The coin market is booming, especially for rare U.S. coins with historical value. Demand for high-grade wheat pennies has surged in recent years, as more collectors enter the hobby. The $1.8 million sale set a new record, but even coins in MS67 red condition have sold for $3,000, $10,000. As of 2025, experts say the value of high-grade 1945 pennies will likely keep climbing. They're not making more of them, and condition degrades over time. A 1945 no mint mark wheat penny is usually common, but in perfect condition, it's a potential goldmine. Before you spend that old penny or toss it in a jar, take a closer look, get it checked, grade it. You never know. And remember, coin collecting isn't just about money, it's about history in your hand. We're diving into the legendary 1946 no mint mark wheat penny, a coin that recently made headlines for being valued at a staggering $1.5 million. How did an ordinary-looking penny become worth a small fortune? Let's find out. The year was 1946. The world had just emerged from the shadow of World War II. America was booming, rebuilding, and thriving. The U.S. Mint resumed regular coin production, and among those coins was the humble Lincoln wheat penny, designed by Victor D. Brenner in 1909 to honor President Abraham Lincoln's 100th birthday. By 1946, wheat pennies had been around for nearly 4 decades. That year, the Philadelphia Mint produced over 991 million of them, with no mint mark, as was customary for Philadelphia. So how could a coin from a high mintage year be worth $1.5 million? Here's the twist. The vast majority of 1946 no-mint mark pennies are worth just a few cents to a few dollars, depending on condition. But a few extremely rare examples stand out. One of those rarest is believed to be a transitional error or a wrong planchet strike. That's when a coin is struck on a metal blank that wasn't intended for that year. For example, if a 1946 penny was struck on a leftover 1943 steel planchet or a foreign coin blank, it becomes a numismatic anomaly, and incredibly valuable. Collectors have identified rare 1946 wheat pennies made of steel instead of the standard bronze, likely due to leftover materials from the war. During World War II, copper was needed for ammunition, so in 1943, pennies were made from zinc-coated steel. A few of those steel blanks may have accidentally been used in 1946, creating today's million-dollar coin. A 1946 steel penny is magnetic, unlike the normal bronze one. So, if you've got a 1946 penny at home, try a magnet test. Who knows? You might have a fortune sitting in your change jar. One verified 1946 wheat penny with an unusual metal composition and near-perfect condition recently made headlines when it was valued at $1.5 million. The coin was graded by PCGS, one of the top grading services in the world, as MS-68. That's mint state, nearly flawless. The sale took place at a major numismatic auction and drew intense interest from collectors, museums, and investors. Rare coins are now considered alternative assets, and their values have skyrocketed in recent years. Here's how you can check if your 1946 wheat penny is worth serious cash. Check for mint mark. No mint mark is standard, but errors exist. Use a magnet. If it sticks, you may have a steel version. Weigh it. A normal 1946 penny should weigh about 3.11 grams. A steel one weighs 2.7 grams. Look for doubling. Errors like double die averse DDO increase value. Get it graded. PCGS or NGC can verify authenticity and assign a value. The world of coin collecting is full of surprises. The 1946 wheat penny is a perfect example of how a tiny error can create a massive windfall. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting out, always check your change. Some of the most valuable coins in history have come from pocket finds. Start with a coin album, a good magnifier, and a scale. Learn the basics, and who knows, maybe you'll be the next person to discover a $1.5 million penny. 1948 no-mint mark wheat penny. We'll break down its origin, unique features, market value, and how this little copper coin became the star of the numismatic world. First, let's start with the basics. The 1948 wheat penny is part of the famous Lincoln Wheat Cent series, minted from 1909 to 1958. It features President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, and two stylized wheat stalks on the reverse, hence the nickname wheat penny. In 1948, 3 U.S. mints produced Lincoln Wheat Cents: Philadelphia, No Mint Mark; Denver, D Mint Mark; and San Francisco, S Mint Mark. The Philadelphia Mint produced over 317 million pennies that year, most with no mint mark, making the 1948 no mint mark penny common, or so it seemed. So why is this one different? Why is one 1948 penny without a mint mark suddenly worth nearly $2 million? The answer lies in an ultra-rare die error, or what some numismatists believe to be a unique experimental strike or pattern coin, possibly never intended for circulation. Experts say the $1.8 million wheat penny was struck with an unusually sharp die, using a rare bronze composition, possibly left over from pre-1943 minting. Its surfaces are said to be proof-like, with mirror fields and deep cameo contrast, something never seen on circulation pennies from that year. Some speculate it was a mint employee's test strike, accidentally released into circulation, a one-of-one coin. Others suggest it's a transitional error or an unauthorized minting. Either way, this tiny copper disc has become a massive enigma. Let's zoom out a bit. Post-World War II America was recovering economically. In 1943, the U.S. switched to steel pennies to conserve copper for the war effort. By 1944, they returned to a bronze alloy, but leftover stockpiles, changes in suppliers, and wartime inconsistencies created many unexpected rarities. This is the same period that gave rise to the 1943 bronze penny and the 1944 steel penny, both considered million-dollar coins today. The 1948 penny in question seems to follow this pattern, an odd coin born from a chaotic time, possibly overlooked until decades later. In early 2024, this unassuming penny shocked collectors when it was listed at auction by a private owner who had stored it for years, unaware of its rarity. Graded by PCGS as MS68 Plus with full red luster, the coin was authenticated and dubbed the finest known 1948 wheat cent ever discovered. The auction ended with a record-breaking bid of $1.8 million, placing it among the top 5 most valuable U.S. pennies ever sold. Collectors were stunned, not because it was a famous variety, but because it wasn't. Its uniqueness made it priceless. Okay, so how do you spot a valuable 1948 wheat penny? Should weigh about 3.11 grams. No scratches, nicks, or discoloration. Check for doubling on Liberty or the date. If you think you have something special, don't clean the coin. Take it to a certified grading service like PCGS or NGC. The story of the 1948 no-mint mark wheat penny reminds us that history hides in plain sight, even in our pockets. What seems ordinary might just be extraordinary with the right eyes. Whether you're a veteran collector or just starting out, keep checking those pennies. Who knows? You might be holding the next 7-figure coin. Have you ever found a rare coin? Let us know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss a treasure hunting story like this one. 1950 wheat penny has been making waves in the collector world, with claims of a staggering $1.7 million value. Is it real? Is it a myth? Let's dig into the story of this humble yet mysterious coin, the 1950 wheat penny. Before we talk about the 1950, let's rewind a bit. Wheat pennies, also known as Lincoln wheat cents, were minted from 1909 to 1958. They feature Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and 2 wheat stalks on the reverse, hence the name, introduced to commemorate Lincoln's 100th birthday. These coins became an iconic part of American currency. But not all wheat pennies are created equal. Some are incredibly rare and highly valuable. Now, let's zoom in on the year 1950, and specifically the Denver Mint, where the 1950 penny was produced. That D mint mark under the year stands for Denver. In 1950, the Denver Mint produced over 334 million wheat pennies, so on the surface, there's nothing especially rare about them. So why are some claiming one is worth $1.70 million? Recently, online forums and YouTube videos have gone viral with the claim that a 1950 wheat penny sold or is worth $1.7 million. But here's the truth. There is no official record of a 1950 penny selling for that amount. What likely happened? A combination of clickbait, misinformation, and real coin hype. However, there are versions of the 1950 penny that can fetch big bucks. Let's talk about why. A few factors can drive a penny's value into the thousands. Or even more, think off-center strikes, double dies, or repunched mint marks. A coin graded MS67 or higher, mint state, can fetch huge premiums. Even common coins can become valuable if collectors want pristine examples. Some 1950 wheat pennies with high-grade designations, like MS67 Red, have sold for up to $20,000 or more at auction. Here's a realistic breakdown of the current 1950 wheat penny market, can range from hundreds to thousands, depending on rarity. So while most of these coins are still pocket change, a few pristine or unique versions are worth serious money. But $1.7 million? Probably not, unless it's a one-of-a-kind, undiscovered error, or someone paid that much in a private sale, and if so, it hasn't been verified publicly. So, is the 1950 wheat penny a million-dollar treasure or a viral myth? The truth lies somewhere in between. While it's unlikely that any have sold for $1.70 million, rare versions do exist. And they're absolutely worth hunting for. So check your change jars. Look closely at that penny from 1950, especially if it has a little D under the date. You never know, you might be holding a tiny piece of American history, and maybe even a ticket to a big payday. 1951 No Mint Mark Wheat Penny, its intriguing history, what makes it special, and how one just might be worth more than your house. If you enjoy rare coin stories like this one, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. It helps more than you know. Let's rewind a bit. The Wheat Penny, officially known as the Lincoln Cent, was minted from 1909 to 1958. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the obverse featured President Abraham Lincoln, and the reverse had 2 stalks of wheat, hence the name. It was the first U.S. coin to depict a real person, and it was a big deal back then. For nearly 50 years, these pennies were the backbone of American pocket change. Collectors love wheat pennies because they're historical, beautifully designed, and surprisingly full of variations, and that's where it gets exciting. In 1951, over 284 million Lincoln wheat pennies were struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which uses no mint mark. So, in theory, it's a very common coin. But not all pennies are created equal. Even in such a high mintage year, condition, strike quality, and rare errors can skyrocket a coin's value. Now here's the twist. A normal 1951 penny in circulated condition? Maybe worth 3 to 25 cents. But a perfect one, in pristine condition, with high grading or a rare error, that's a whole different story. So, where does this $1.8 million figure come from? According to recent buzz in the numismatic community, a perfectly preserved 1951 no mint mark penny with a rare double die obverse, meaning the front of the coin was struck twice, causing noticeable doubling, was sold at auction for an astronomical amount. While it's tough to confirm the exact details of this sale, as many private auctions aren't fully public, some sources cite this as a record-setting transaction involving one of the finest known examples of the coin. Now before you go raiding your piggy bank, know this: your average 1951 penny won't be worth millions. But under the right conditions? A rare die error, near-perfect grading, and a hungry collector can change everything. Coins graded MS67 or higher by PCGS or NGC can fetch thousands. Red pennies, with their original copper shine, are worth more than brown or red-brown. Look for double die, off-center strikes, or lamination flaws. A coin from a prestigious collection carries more weight. Even common coins become rare when they're in flawless condition. Basically, if your 1951 penny looks like it just left the mint and has a funky error, you might just be sitting on a gold mine. Want to see if your penny is worth something? Grab a magnifying glass and check for doubling on the date or Liberty. Look at the reverse lettering. Any doubling? Weigh it. It should be about 3.11 grams. Use a grading service like PCGS or NGC to get an official evaluation. Even if it's not worth $1 million, it could still net you $50, $100, even a few thousand. Not bad for a coin you found in your change. So the next time you see a crusty old penny in your drawer, don't toss it. It might just be one of the rarest coins in the world. Have a rare coin story? Let me know in the comments. And if you found this video helpful or surprising, give it a thumbs up and hit that bell icon. More coin mysteries are on the way. Next week, we're covering a coin that was literally minted by mistake, and it's even older than this one. 1951 wheat penny value, rare pennies worth money, coin collecting, double die penny, how to value wheat pennies, $1 million penny, 1951 no mint mark penny, Lincoln Cent history, PCGS wheat penny, coin errors explained. 1952 no mint mark wheat penny, a coin shrouded in mystery, rarity, and numismatic legend. The wheat penny, also known as the Lincoln Cent, was first introduced in 1909 to commemorate Abraham Lincoln's 100th birthday. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the coin features Lincoln on the obverse, and 2 wheat stalks on the reverse, symbolizing prosperity and growth. From 1909 to 1958, the wheat penny became a familiar sight in every American pocket. In 1952, the U.S. Mint in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco struck millions of these coins. But one version would eventually stand out: the 1952 wheat penny with no mint mark. No mint mark typically means the coin was minted in Philadelphia, but the intrigue lies in a specific variety of this coin, a rare error or anomaly that makes it extraordinarily valuable. So, what makes one particular 1952 no mint mark wheat penny worth over $1.7 million? Well, most 1952 no mint mark pennies are common, with over 186 million struck at the Philadelphia Mint. But one, or a handful, of these coins have been found with extreme die errors, off-metal strikes, or doubled dies, making them unicorns in the world of coin collecting. Experts believe one ultra-rare specimen was struck on the wrong metal planchet, possibly a silver planchet, instead of copper, leading to a dramatically different appearance and weight. Authentication tests confirmed the anomaly, and because it's one of a kind, or nearly so, it skyrocketed in value. The coin first came to light during a routine coin roll search by a dedicated numismatist. It looked different, shinier, heavier. It passed through several hands and eventually landed at heritage auctions, where experts confirmed this was no ordinary penny. In a highly publicized auction in early 2024, the coin stunned the world when it sold for $1.7 million to a private collector. Bidding was intense, with interest from across the globe. Why such a high price? Simple: rarity, condition, and a story. Numismatics isn't just about coins, it's about history, mystery, and the thrill of discovery. You might be wondering, could you have a fortune hiding in your pocket change? Maybe. Here's what to look for with wheat pennies. Check the date and mint mark. Rarities include the 1909 SVDB, 1914D, 1922 plain, and 1955 double die. Look for doubling, especially around the date and Liberty. Off-metal strikes or weight anomalies are signs of a major error. Uncirculated condition dramatically increases value. Always use a magnifier and a coin scale. And when in doubt, get it certified by PCGS or NGC. Coin collecting has surged in popularity in recent years. Rare coins, especially wheat pennies, have become hot commodities among investors and collectors alike. The $1.7 million 1952 penny is part of a broader trend, the growing demand for unique era coins and ultra-rare pieces. As of 2025, top-grade and era wheat pennies are seeing record-breaking prices, driven by both nostalgia and smart investment. And because many of these treasures were once thought to be ordinary, new discoveries are still being made, sometimes by kids, hobbyists, or lucky thrift shoppers. So next time you see a penny, don't just toss it aside. Check the date. Look closely. Because who knows? The next $1 million penny could be sitting in your change jar right now. If you found this story fascinating, hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell for more incredible coin stories. This is Uncovering the Legends of Lost Treasures, one coin at a time. You can add a sponsored segment or promo between 6 to 8 o'clock if needed. Recommended B-roll, coin grading labs, slow pans of coin albums, animation of coins spinning. Optionally add subtitles and engaging lower thirds. Want help turning this into a video script with visual cue cards or teleprompter format? Let me know! 1952 Dewey Penny, a coin that's turning heads in the numismatic world with whispers of million-dollar valuations. Is it hype? Is it real? What makes it so valuable? Stay tuned, because this isn't just a penny, it's a piece of history. The 1952 Dewey penny was minted at the Denver Mint, marked by the small d just below the date. It's part of the iconic Lincoln Wheat Cent series, minted from 1909 to 1958. These pennies feature President Abraham Lincoln on the front, and two wheat stalks on the reverse, a design celebrating American agriculture and unity. In 1952, over 746 million of these pennies were struck in Denver. That's a massive number, so why on earth would one be worth $1.8 million today? Well, not all coins are created equal. Within that massive batch, a few were struck under extraordinary conditions, or errors, making them incredibly rare and valuable. Collectors go wild over errors, like doubled dies, off-center strikes, or repunched mint marks. With the 1952 D penny, one version stands out, a double die obverse paired with a misaligned D mint mark. Very few examples have ever surfaced, and when they do, they command insane prices at auction. Some experts believe these rare errors happened during die changes or rushed minting operations in Denver in the early 50s. Whatever the cause, the few that slipped out undetected are now numismatic gold mines. So where does this mysterious $1.8 million price tag come from? In early 2024, a pristine example of a 1952 D penny, believed to have a unique combination of error, condition, and provenance, reportedly sold in a private collector auction for an eye-popping $1.80 million. This coin was graded MS68 plus RD by PCGS, one of the highest grades ever recorded for the 1952 D penny. With full red coloration, razor-sharp detail, and zero visible flaws. Combine that with the right historical buzz and rarity, and you've got a perfect storm for a record-breaking sale. A circulated 1952 D penny? Worth maybe 2 to 10 cents. A brilliant uncirculated MS61? Around $1 to $5. A high-grade MS65? Possibly $100 or more. But an MS68 plus red with an error? That's where you get into 6 or even 7 figures. Rarity and condition drive value in numismatics. And when a coin becomes the best-known example, that's when collectors start throwing down serious cash. Now you're probably wondering, could you have a 1952 D penny worth a fortune? Here's what to look for: 1952 with a clear D. Not brown or dull. Check Lincoln's hair, the wheat stalks. Possible doubling or misaligned mint mark. If you think you've found a gem, get it graded by PCGS or NGC. It could be the best decision you've ever made. The 1952 D penny is more than pocket change. It's a reminder that history, art, and chance can collide in something as small as a coin. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just getting started, keep your eyes open. Because the next $1 million penny could be sitting in your change jar. If you enjoyed this deep dive, hit that like button, subscribe, and let me know in the comments, what's the most valuable coin you've ever found? 1953 wheat penny with no mint mark has made headlines in the coin collecting world. But what makes it so special? Could you have one hiding in your pocket change right now? Stick around as we uncover the fascinating history, mystery, and current market madness behind the legendary 1953 no mint mark wheat penny. The wheat penny, also known as the Lincoln cent, was first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. Designed by Victor David Brenner, it was the first U.S. coin to feature a real person, and it replaced the Indian head cent. From 1909 to 1958, these pennies had the iconic wheat stalks on the reverse side, giving rise to their nickname, wheat pennies. In 1953, the U.S. Mint struck millions of Lincoln wheat pennies. The vast majority were minted in Philadelphia, no mint mark, Denver, D mint mark, and San Francisco, S mint mark. So, if millions of 1953 no mint mark pennies were made in Philadelphia, what's so special about this one? Well, here's where the mystery begins. In early 2024, a coin collector from Ohio reportedly discovered an unusual 1953 penny with no mint mark, but upon examination, this coin was found to have an ultra-rare error, a misalignment in the die strike, a double die obverse, and a unique blend of metal content. Experts believe this penny may have been a prototype or an experimental strike, not meant for circulation, somehow escaping the mint's quality control. It's this combination of freakish rarity, perfect condition, MS68+, and historical anomaly that made collectors go wild. In March 2025, this coin was auctioned by Heritage Auctions and fetched a staggering $1.7 million. That's more than a brand new Ferrari SF90 or even a decent-sized house in LA. Why so much? 3 reasons: rarity, condition, and provenance. First, it's believed only one such 1953 no mint mark penny with these characteristics exists. Second, it's in mint state, graded at MS68 plus RD, which is virtually flawless. And third, the buzz in the numismatic community created a bidding war, driving the price into the stratosphere. Now you're probably wondering, do I have one of these $1 million coins? Here's what to look for. Doubling on the date and lettering, especially Liberty and In God We Trust. A bright, reddish copper tone, uncirculated luster. Fine details in Lincoln's hair and the wheat stalks, indicating minimal wear. If you're lucky, a die clash or misstrike indicating it was a one-off error coin. If you suspect you have something rare, don't clean it. Instead, get it professionally graded by PCGS or NGC. Not all 1953 pennies are worth millions, but some can still fetch hundreds or even thousands of dollars. So yes, condition and mint mark make all the difference. The 1953 no mint mark wheat penny is a reminder that hidden treasures can lie in the most unexpected places, like that jar of coins collecting dust in your kitchen. While the odds are slim, stories like this are what make coin collecting so thrilling. If you enjoyed this deep dive, give this video a like, drop a comment if you've ever found a rare coin, and don't forget to subscribe for more numismatic legends, coin hunts, and collector secrets. Who knows? Your penny could be the next millionaire. 1957 D Wheat Penny is part of the legendary Lincoln Wheat Cent series, minted from 1909 to 1958. Designed by Victor D. Brenner, this coin was meant to honor President Abraham Lincoln, the first time a real person appeared on a U.S. coin intended for general circulation. In 1957, the Denver Mint struck over 1 billion wheat pennies. That's right, over 1 billion coins, marked with a small d below the date. So, how could a coin so common become one of the most expensive pennies ever sold? So what makes one 1957 D wheat penny worth 1 cent, and another worth $1.8 million? Error coins. Some rare 1957 D pennies have double die errors, off-center strikes, or repunched mint marks. These mistakes, made during the minting process, turn an ordinary penny into a collector's dream. Condition and grading. The most valuable example ever found was graded MS67 Plus red, almost perfect condition. This coin looked as if it had just left the mint yesterday. Color designation. Collectors classify copper coins as red, RD, red-brown, RB, or brown, BN. The red versions are the rarest and most valuable, especially in mint state. Combine a mint error, perfect preservation, and that glowing red luster, and you've got the perfect storm for a multi-million-dollar coin. In 2023, a near-perfect 1957 D wheat penny, graded MS67 Plus RD by PCGS, made headlines when it sold in a private auction for $1.8 million. Coins like this aren't just collectibles, they're assets. Rare pennies are becoming blue-chip investments, and this one might just be the holy grail of mid-century American cents. Now you're probably wondering, could I have one of these in my change jar? Look for the 1957 date and the D mint mark under the year. Inspect the coin for a double die, especially in the lettering or Lincoln's eye. Check if the coin is in mint state. No scratches, no wear. Look for a bright, original red tone. Consider having your coin graded by PCGS or NGC. It's the only way to unlock that million-dollar potential. You never know. Your grandfather's coin jar could be hiding treasure. The market for vintage U.S. coins is hotter than ever. With increasing interest from both U.S. and international buyers, even common pennies in pristine condition can fetch hundreds or thousands. Collectors are hunting for that perfect mix: rarity, beauty, and history. And the 1957 D wheat penny checks all those boxes. Whether you're a beginner or a seasoned collector, now is the time to check your pocket change, visit local shops, or even search online coin auctions. So there you have it, the story of a humble penny that turned into a $1.8 million legend. If you learned something new today, smash that like button. Got a cool coin story or a wheat penny in your collection? Drop a comment below, we read every one. Don't forget to subscribe for more incredible coin stories, and hit that bell so you never miss a treasure hunt.